Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. What are work and relationships going to be like in 2030? Well, here are my guesses. First, regarding work. Remote work is going to dominate. Employers are going to use software, that's mainly artificial intelligence driven, to better track employee performance, and employers will welcome the cost saving of not having to provide office space. Employees will increasingly value the freedom of working at home. When you want, no need to get dressed up, no need to find childcare and doggy care, no need to endure a stressful commute, and only so that you can sit in a noisy cubicle. For employees whose homes are ill-suited to working, there will be pod centers where workers can work in their own one-room pod with a common area where they can share expensive technology such as high-powered AI-driven computers. Unionization will increase. The public's disenchantment with the gap between haves and have-nots will broaden the unionization movement into the professions. Doctors, lawyers, professors, and so on will increasingly be unionized. Only top performers will opt out, wanting the prestige of being paid on their individual merits. Automation will extend to judgment-requiring jobs, that is, jobs requiring a lot of judgment. The case for automation will be bolstered by employees ever more disdainful of employers, increased unionization, and increased payroll costs, that is, full employer-paid health care for physical and mental issues that the government will mandate, I believe. Advances in artificial intelligence and machine learning are going to at least have resulted in AI-assisted doctors, lawyers, even corporate, nonprofit, and government managers. Another example of where automation and artificial intelligence should affect things a lot by 2030 is the counseling app. The cost and inconvenience of in-person counseling has already seen a real growth in remote counseling, but as machine learning advances, counseling apps are going to improve and become a viable alternative to counseling with a human counselor, especially for people who live in areas where counseling is scarce but internet access is readily available, not just in America, but in, say, India or China. There are some new careers that come to mind that will likely become extant by 2030. The first and most risky for me to predict is Airlift Shuttle pilot. The solution to government antipathy to road building in favor of mass transit is going to result in developing low-flying, silent, electric-powered air shuttles, creating massive new amounts of lanes at little cost. And these are going to be used not just by commuters, but by commercial delivery. Another possible new career will be nuclear vehicle developers and service technicians. By 2030, a first generation of micro-nukes, small enough to power those air shuttles, as well as buses, trains, and trucks, and maybe cars, could be in trials. The government and much of the public dislikes fossil fuel, and so are attracted to nuclear power being a source of unlimited clean energy. Those factors are going to encourage public and private sector funding to develop micro-nuclear-powered engines with an acceptable safety profile and an acceptable process for waste disposal. Of course, engineers and other scientists will be needed to develop those, nuclear-powered vehicles, and in order to implement them well, there's going to need to be a large cohort of nuclear vehicle service techs. And a final new career that I can envision is Genomic Surgeon. The genome is going to be better understood by 2030, with gene repair available to humans and animals and plants. For example, a gene cluster could be replaced so that crops such as tomatoes, peaches, and corn no longer need regular spraying with pesticides and fungicides. Progress will likely have been made toward replacing gene clusters that predispose a person to physical or mental diseases, from cancer to depression. Now let's turn to relationships, some predictions there. I predict there'll be an increase in multi-generational households. Economic pressures and the lack of affordable assisted living facilities are going to cause an increase in the number of aging parents living with their kids. That's going to add stress to all their lives and in turn create opportunities for counselor types to do counseling of those groups. I predict what I'm calling an increase in bailiwick equality, Many men resist increasing their domestic responsibilities, while many women resist income-earning responsibility. So, instead of continued pressure for each partner to contribute 50% in both areas, more couples will assess whether the couple is fair to each other by whether each partner contributes in toto equally to the relationship, each party choosing how much to contribute to each bailiwick. I predict that bed death will increase. Causes include increased enmity between the sexes in straight relationships and LGBT issues such as the so-called lesbian bed death. Attempts to increase people's sex lives, improve their sex lives, will include decreased insistence on monogamy and increased use of sex-enhancing drugs. Of course, all predictions, especially those for years ahead, are risky. It's said that people who live by the crystal ball eat broken glass. Do you think I will? In any event, I do thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.